Most precious Heavenly Father, you are the one that brought us all here today, and I thank you. You know the goals that you want us each to accomplish, and with your guidance, we can achieve those outcomes. Thank you, dear Lord, for this new day and the potential you have gifted us. Help us all to grasp the purpose you have for us. Let us never grow weary of doing good, doing the right thing with every encounter. Let us be a blessing in the lives of others as we follow your lead. Amen.
Amen.
And let's pledge to our flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Got it.
Yes, commissioners here for. Wait. So I heard Chuck on.
I'm stealing this chair then. It's fine.
Okay, can we get the sheriff up for review?
Good morning, council. Good morning.
Good morning. Great job this weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for all the support. I don't know if this thing is really on.
I think they heard it.
Sure.
Well.
Right now, there we go. There you got me. So the request this morning is for a vehicle purchase out of the opioid funding. Our canine, it's for a canine vehicle. These are our most expensive to outfit as well, but in conversation with the commissioners, I believe this qualifies for the use of those funds. So they've asked me to come in front of you.
Don't we have a newer vehicle that was used for a K-9 that officer is no longer going to have a K-9?
Yes.
He's going to move?
So we have one that just got promoted into a detective position, but he'll be replaced. So the current vehicle is so it's an 8 to 6 year old canine vehicle. So then he's on his second dog. So rather than putting a dog in another dog's car and then going through the process in a couple of years anyway, get a new vehicle. So the new canine handler, it's kind of like low man on the pole gets the worst equipment. You get the old used stuff. So we'll give the new canine handler, the officer that just got promoted into the detective area, we'll give him that car. Rather than do someone who's ran the life out of their vehicle. I got to buy a new canine vehicle. I shouldn't say I have to, but I have got to. If I keep 3 dogs, I have to buy a new one anyway because the vehicle he's got is done.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought that vehicle was newer. Just my memory. It's fine.
No, you asked the right question. I believe it is. The one you're speaking about, the officer that got promoted, his vehicle is within 2 years old. The officer that I'm replacing currently, his vehicle is not. It's a 6-year-old canine car. You know, those never get turned off because you got to leave the air conditioners running. He needs a new vehicle. So rather than give him a hand-me-down, we're just buying a new vehicle anyway. So even if I got another canine, I would have to purchase a new vehicle.
So what will happen to the new vehicle that now that that person has been promoted? Will it no longer be a K-9 boost, not be a K-9 vehicle anymore?
Yeah, I'm probably not explaining it correctly. I'm sorry. So we have a canine. He got promoted. His dog will get retired.
Correct.
So I'll put that car in the garage. I'm going to hire a new canine handler, and I'm going to give him that car. I didn't say it right, did I?
No. The way you explained it, I was like, so we're just going to have a sitting car.
No,
I don't understand.
No. I'm actually replacing an old car that needs to be replaced.
Okay.
And where does that leave our opioid fund?
Another step, where's the cash?
Huh?
With all the requests currently.
Leave it at 27 then? Yeah. So is that after the 70? Or is that before the
That's
70?
before the 70.
Okay.
Currently. With everything,
Because we got the other upfitting
there's some.
in ARPA, right? So it's kind of winding it down. There's more coming though, right?
There should be more coming, yeah, we just don't know how much. It's random when it comes.
And the commissioners like this direction.
They've asked me, yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really not up to date on the opioid funding. I have no process in it. So I don't report anything. I don't have any idea how to use it when it comes or anything. That's all.
On that.
Gotcha. Can you believe it costs to outfit these vehicles?
Yeah, canines are incredible. You've got, most of the up cost is basic, the cage unit. That's pretty expensive, but it's got those hot dog sensors in that if the vehicle interior wise, the heat rises to a particular point, it pages, texts the officer, it shuts off the alarms and sirens, rolls all the window down. All that stuff is where those costs fly in. Yeah.
If you're eating a hot dog, it sets a sensor on.
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody have any further questions for the sheriff?
I'll make the motion that we approve.
Bill?
I can second that.
Any further comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Aye. Thank you. Thank you. Clint.
Good morning.
Vehicle conversation.
Yeah. So we don't have any opioid funds that I'm aware of, so we were looking for ARPA funds. And we've been through this process. We're looking at 2 new vehicles. You suit our building inspectors in the field. Their current vehicles are 10 years old. And the reason I brought Charlie here, besides to be a prop, is in case he had questions about what the current vehicles are costing us with tires and upkeep and maintenance. They really are nickel diming us. It's time we get something new.
Vehicles covered with this amount. I just saw your bids and quotes, everything looks good. Thank you, the commissioners.
10 years old is hard.
It's, yeah.
Comments or questions? Care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to move forward and approve.
Bill? Thank you. Anything further? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Got 5 on that one, Clint.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Are you
heading out or are you gonna be upstairs?
I'll be
We
Okay.
got 2 for the price of year 1, just saying.
I get it.
Commissioner Howard.
Morning. If I remain seated here since.
Sure, yeah, we've got a main shelter vehicle purchase ARPA committee $20,000 request here. Anything you want to add to that?
Other than the fact that ARPA committee required them to have matching funds on that. Probably a $40,000 vehicle, half of which is by their own funds, half from us. From the county, that's us.
Say we've been provided with the financials, which was another stipulation that we had that took a little bit to get through.
The one thing I could probably add to that is if the county were to have to provide this service, we'd have a lot more invested in it than what we do.
And have they gotten their matching funds?
I think 10 of it was, don't hold me to this, but if memory serves me correctly, 10 of it, what I believe was from one of the pet store companies on a grant.
What's it, Petco maybe?
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of them. The balance, I'm not sure of.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Commissioner on this one?
If I could one more time, they did exhaust a number of other resources too. I know that they had checked with the centers in Allen County because they rotate their vehicles out to see if there was those, but they were in just as poor shape as what they're using now, so.
What year did this become not a, dog keeper used to be a government entity? That's just me being a nerd and curious. When did that
I
change
don't know.
to a non-for-profit instead of a government entity?
Sheriff, you.
When did it change from a from a government entity to a non-for-profit, right? It used to be a government entity.
There's still statutes in place and laws of the requirements of when the government, the entity does run the shelter. However, we've never done it. So we just haven't, as far as I have ever been told or know, the shelter has always been the nonprofit and given funding to assist all the entities in the county with the cats and dogs and animal removal stuff. We've never done it. But there are statutes that are in place that we could follow if we wanted to do it ourselves. Like the
Which would be a
commissioner
lot more
said.
than this.
Yeah,
A lot more.
yeah.
Welcome a motion.
I will second.
Christine?
And I want to thank you both for your diligence of having them provide information. I think that's really important when it's going to a not-for-profit board.
Yeah, I do too. Thank you. I know you've had that, you've been on that bandwagon a little bit and I was liaison this year to them and it just took a while to get things coming, but yeah,
Do they have a new director? Are they settled?
I think so. Yeah.
Right, because they had a change this year.
Yeah, they just, I think they just appointed somebody a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Any further conversation? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Aye. You let them know or you want me to let them know? Yeah. Okay, and we have Missy up next. Transfer request. Treasurer. Hi, Missy. Morning.
Yeah.
Good.
Need to do a transfer, from my full-time position to our part-time line. 4,000. That should get us through the rest of the year.
So can you talk to us a little bit about what's going on there?
So on Friday, Leanne starts, so I'm gonna keep that. She starts working in my office to train, to work and train. And so I'm gonna need that full-time line will cover, but she's gonna get me.
Okay. So
I still have seasonal help that I may need in November. So that's what that money's going for as well.
So her current position hadn't been filled. There's funding in that line item to pay her. And that's not what this part-time is. This is for your seasonal help
Right.
for tax collection.
Yes.
Is with your outgoing, is your office prepared, trained up with Lao?
We're getting there. I had like 6 different systems, or 6 different systems or different things to learn throughout the system.
Lao is the new software that the county went, for those of you that are in the audience there. Went with the auditor's offices, utilizing. other questions for Missy?
Tell me what page we're on.
That was a separate.
It was a separate.
It was a
I'm like,
separate-
yeah, looking at so much financials.
I did go back and get it,
Okay,
but I really.
thank you, I'm not
Second email
crazy.
that followed the first one with just that on it.
Okay, I apologize.
Motion.
Yes, please.
Move to approve.
Ruth.
I'll second that.
Bill? Anybody have any further comments or questions for Missy? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. 6, we just jumped to 6. Do we need anything else on this? Thank you, Missy.
You all set?
Okay, so we've got 2 resolutions.
So the 03 is for all the additionals that we just did. You approved all 3 of them. So if you could approve this resolution and everybody sign it, that would be great.
Okay, so we've got a resolution for today's work, 10/2/24/2024-03.
70, 70, and 20.
Correct, for 3 additionals that we did. Opioid and 2 ARPA, sorry. Yep. Okay, Ruth,
I will second it.
Christina. Further discussion? None, all those in favor, raise your right hand. 6 on the resolution. Coming down to you. And vote for is
That's gonna be later, and actually I can't even print it until I go back in and finish up after we do the approval of the budget. So,
that's what that one's for?
yeah,
Oh,
that's what the 04 is for.
Okay.
So we're not gonna be able to do that one until,
okay. Come back.
you have minutes?
Okay. Awesome. So under other business, item 3, you got 4 months of meeting minutes.
I can do them. Some people haven't been here for some of them.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
You wanna start?
So we're gonna start with
We're
July.
the only one that didn't have somebody, or did somebody else do this one?
Okay.
I missed one and this one. Yeah.
So if you weren't there, recuse yourself from that month.
So we'll start with July 9th.
Yeah.
That looked lovely and I moved to approve.
I'll second. And Ruth is our diligent minutes reader.
Who was second?
So we got Ruth and Tony.
Tony.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. And everyone was present, right? So we don't need recusals.
6, 7, yes.
Okay, so that's carries 6-0.
So August 13th. Looked lovely and I moved to approve.
I will second that one.
Which one you on?
August.
So Lisa recusal. Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Got 5. Boy, you're gonna have fun looking at that years from now. I wonder why the numbers jumping from 5 to 6. Okay.
I've got 5, 0, 6, 8. Okay.
Wait, who's the motion in the second?
I had Christina seconding that one. And Ruth was one.
Yeah. Thank you. Give me a second to catch up here. Let go of that thing. I gotta get the mouse on this thing. Let go of this. It jumps. So September's up. had full attendance?
Yes.
I'll be emotional.
All right.
She said, keep things moving today.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Bill? You? Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. 6 on September.
So,
You? That was a big meeting.
We like those kind of meetings.
You were the only one.
That resolution to sign.
I'll make a motion to
Tony,
Yeah. Please do.
second.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. 5 on that with my recusal. All right, boy, that's
This
good.
means we are like
Thank you.
all caught up.
We
Well,
are.
Not all. I've got
There's a couple
more.
older
I've
months.
got a couple.
Oh, okay.
Couple months.
That's
Yeah.
older.
But we're close now.
You were very close.
Good job.
Yes, and I also want to thank Leah because Leah was amazing on those. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you, Leah.
You didn't have anybody saying it needs changed, so they're all right.
I look, man, I
She-
look.
Ruth looks them over very, very well.
All right, next, under
August,
item number 4,
September.
you get the 2025 meeting schedule.
These are all coming down at the same time
For a signature, okay.
for signature.
So as these are getting, you kind of look over those dates, we're on second Tuesday again, like usual. 9:00 meeting time.
We want one of the evening ones, just throwing it out there.
You want my personal opinion?
Absolutely.
So we did it at the request. It was less attendance than normal. This is our vehicle now. And
And it's harder for department heads.
it's harder for department heads.
I get it.
Causes overtime. That's my opinion. But if you all want one,
I agree with you, Dana, with the Zoom.
Because we tried.
We tried.
We had less people than we have here during the day of the public.
I think it was good to do it again because it had been a while since we've done it, just to prove it out again. But knowing this was coming, this is the ultimate. I think this is awesome.
Did become a meeting. Probably more likely to happen to me.
So the highlight on there is for November the 12th.
So don't sign your month. Then
I
this
was here
one?
for all of
Yeah,
them.
and this one. Yeah. Your month of recusal, don't sign.
The November date
Okay,
is November the 12th because the 11th is,
so that's a
It's a holiday.
Wednesday.
so that one falls on a Wednesday. So if you guys want to take a look at that. And November the 10th was tax day on a Monday, so we didn't want to, I really don't want to do that on either.
Tax day was on Monday.
Yep.
Wednesday.
Still at 9, right?
Yes. I have them all scheduled at 9. And then if you remember, last year they had the budget calendar on this also. I'm doing the budget calendar completely separate from your regular meeting schedule.
We don't have that yet.
No, I'm gonna rearrange those. This is just your monthly meeting.
Say rearrange those, what do you mean?
I am going to look at all of the dates and see if some of the things we can start a little bit sooner.
Thank you.
Okay.
And
still having sessions the same week of the September?
September, October, I think is where we want to hit them. But I would like to push for being done earlier in October if possible. If not, that's fine too.
Give us our budget workshop,
No,
3 days.
no, not yet. This is just your,
When do you think you'll have those 3 days? I just like to make, that is my calendar in concrete. Once you
Yep.
give those to me.
I don't know yet. Let me get this budget submitted. And then I can work on that calendar.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, nope, that's
I
okay.
like to just clear my,
Calendar for that.
Can we
yes.
formalize that in the December meeting then?
Sure. Can do that.
I have a schedule and want to make sure it works with commissioners too. 'Cause I think they go.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. Let me make a note of that. Finalize. 26 budget. Calendar.
Sounds weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. He's got from conference, talked about some things with the other auditors. Got some ideas from them, some things that made things a little bit easier, so I would like to try and incorporate some stuff. So I'll get it all around for you guys and you can let me know what you think.
Awesome.
Everybody
Yes.
cool with that?
Yes,
So we need a
absolutely.
motion to accept these dates.
Yes.
Ruth?
And I will second.
I'll second that.
I'm sorry.
You are fine.
I'm sorry. I was putting them in and I wasn't paying attention. I was putting the dates in already.
Who got it then?
Christina, I wanted a second.
I'm sorry.
Take that away from me.
I'm sorry. The last few times it's been a lull before second, so I was just trying to keep.
Bam.
All right, motion and second. All in favor, raise your hand. 6. Okay, so need a motion to adjourn this meeting. Go into our-
Okay.
I'll make the motion. Donnie.
I'll second.
Lisa. Meeting's adjourned. We'll open the third reading of the county budget. And we've got totals provided to us this morning.
Which is fabulous, and I love this tool. This is new. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, this is nice. I'm gonna read this off as county general, 100,000 total. And then a total budget with all funds.
So we gotta do this third reading also, what it was originally at.
Right.
What's that number on it? You've got, that is that same number. Okay.
Nope.
That one's off a little bit.
Yep. Something. This was the second reading number?
Yes,
Something Gateway changed that a
Changed.
little bit.
yeah.
A little bit. $640,000 difference. It's on the published budget. What's the adopted budget?
The adopted is gonna be on
How
here.
does it match up?
No, the adopted is not gonna be on there. These are-
It's right here.
This is how it was originally put in the very first time before any changes were made.
This sheet you're looking at.
Yes, yes, so lots of changes have been made. That one,
This is consistent with,
yes,
yeah, this is consistent with,
yes. The numbers that we came up with that we wanted to balance.
but the second reading, this was the second reading then? Yeah, so this is not sure that's on.
This number was the second reading. We just read it straight from here. We didn't print
You
this
didn't
out.
print it, okay.
No, we did not print that out.
So your numbers were right. Just pull it out.
We are reading, if we do multiple readings, we read based on whatever this was what was published originally. So you can read this number as it was published. Your adopted number is gonna be, it's gonna be what's on, is lower, it's what's gonna be on there. Yes. So as changes were made, because.
So there's that much margin within what was published versus what was adopted.
Yes. 600.
640 roughly. I just was glancing at it.
Yeah.
but Yeah.
Yeah. You and Tony do numbers in your head way better than I. Yeah. So
So-
this is what was published.
Yeah. And we need that read again.
Read that for your third reading.
Okay, so the
'cause
third
we're-
reading, what was published for 2025 budget was 45,743,680,000.
Yep.
And we'll need a motion to acknowledge and approve that that was the original published budget amount. And we read what we're actually adopting.
Make a motion to approve or to acknowledge. I'll second that.
Any further discussion on the published budget amount? All those in favor, raise your hand. 6.
It's a village.
Oh, you got some documents there.
You and Will shared with me early on that you should retain everything you keep.
That bag is full. Okay. So jumping down into step 2 here is to review the budget and any changes from the last meeting, any conversation around that.
So I think one item of discussion since our last meeting to this meeting is it was approved for the position of chief deputy for the sheriff's office. An additional $10,000 for that position. Originally, it was voted on to take it out of lit, fund number 1112. In conversation with commission president, maybe we look at moving that to come out of the general fund for the purpose of the payroll.
Just to make it work, function better as a payroll.
Functions better, I think it's probably a more appropriate place for it, with the fact that you have funding available for revenue replacement. Purpose of that is specifically for items, at least I see it that way. Again, I'm not in your shoes, and I don't want to overstep.
Bless you.
Thoughts, comments, questions? Yes. Sorry, I wasn't looking hard. I
So-
left to see your hand.
No, that's okay. Look at me trying to learn to be quiet and wait my turn. So my question is we picked lit because lit was the one that had the room because general was, I mean, we took that right to the wire. Is it, and there's already payroll that comes out of lit, correct? I would prefer myself not to, I would prefer to stay balanced. But that's just mine. And I just wanted to confirm that my thought was correct. Because if we do this, then general will show that it's over. Correct?
We will pull it from the,
Insurance line.
from the insurance line like we are, because there's still 155,000 that we're gonna create a line for and pull from that.
But it's in the budget, right? That is in the budget. The insurance line, I mean, the revenue replacement is in the budget. It's already there. It's already figured in
So
to what we're gonna spend.
you have 900 and, I don't know the full dollar amount off the top of my head, 945,000. We're already gonna pull 155 out of that to make the other lines balance. And then we could pull some additional out of there for the sheriff's chief deputy if you want. That's just gonna make that insurance line lower, is what it's gonna do.
There is a.
It's still gonna balance, it's still gonna be, general will still be balanced. We're just pulling a little bit more out of that insurance line. Keep in mind, we have $5 million budgeted for insurance.
That is why that's why I mean, what we did the last meeting, and I understand that we decreased that so that it I still have a hard time wrapping my brain around that because those numbers were in there in that budget. We're gonna spend that, unless our insurance is a lot less, which maybe we'll have excess in insurance. But no matter what, we budgeted that money. That money was in there.
It's just taken away from insurance reserve.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. And I get what Will's saying too, because to your point, you're right, we do pay other payroll out of lit, but that is because that position has responsibilities that fall under lit. I mean, that department qualifies as reimbursable from lit, if that makes any sense. I think what they're saying is consistency within the sheriff's office, not commingling the idea of economic development, paying for a wage. Is that
So I didn't bring
what you're thinking?
I didn't bring my book. So there's nothing from lit that is used at all for the sheriff's department. I didn't bring my book today.
I don't think so.
You think you ever use 11, 12?
Yes, well, I don't write or something.
Oh,
Dan, and correct me if I'm wrong, we
Okay.
parked a surplus into the insurance fund as a mechanism anyways.
So what we did is the revenue replacement from ARPA kind of landed there to prop up insurance even more. So yeah, I get where you're going, like we've got it, but I would also put the little asterisk out there, a caveat that the number of positions we grew 2 previous years in county government. We did that because we're anticipating using more health insurance for sure. There's a reason for it to land there. Now, whether this $10,000 is gonna,
Yeah.
be part of that, I would hope not.
Thank you. I'm an oral processor, so I like to think about
Yeah.
it out loud.
That's why we're here. Talk it out. If there's no motion, we're gonna move on. So is there a motion?
I will make the motion that we move that from 1112 to the general.
Okay.
The amount of $10,000 that was approved prior meeting date.
I'm struggling with this one. I prefer where it's at. I sure want to work in harmony with the commissioners. And that's why I'm struggling.
I feel the same way.
So I will second that.
Further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 5-1. Thank you. Okay. Bill, anything from that meeting else you want to bring up? I know you guys had highway discussion.
Oh boy, we had a lot of discussion. What topic do you want to discuss? So I guess just to follow up with the auditor's office, we had talked about the corner perpetuation fund and the $4,042. Has that been removed? Because it was not approved to move forward, but it showed up in the
It's out of
in the
here.
budget, so we pulled that out and made that change. Good, thank you. So you want to discuss county highway and what we did? Or
I mean, I'm aware of what you did. So if
that's the piece of paper I couldn't find when I got here to talk about that.
everybody voted unanimously on that, then unless someone has a reason they want to bring it up again. I had made my feelings on it known before the meeting. Yeah, the meeting. hope those were shared.
They were. I shared your message.
I would have been a dissenting vote. Not because they don't deserve it, just because of what we're trying to adopt here is a 2-year plan.
So the only other thing I'm gonna bring up is, and this is just to bring it to my colleague's attention, is I've had 2 elected offices in discussion and mixed review on the $500
Appreciation bonus.
appreciation bonus. One of the elected officials is in the room. If they would like to stand up and address how I was addressed, I'll offer that. Would you like to, Danny?
And you want me to come up there a second?
Yes, that'd be great if you could.
Sure.
That way they can hear.
Being an elected official, I can't really speak for the other elected officials, but don't get me wrong, appreciate the 500 yet. I think there has something to do with longevity. Been here, I don't know how long. Kelly, can't speak for how many years you've been here.
27.
Thank you. Been here almost 25. And I'm thinking, after I told Bill you take taxes out and everything, of course, the insurance is going up. There's nothing. So barely enough to buy eggs. I'm just wondering where exactly appreciation is your definition. Because talking to other officials, sometimes it's kind of like you are not appreciated what we've done. And I have said this before, and I will say it again. We are here, this is your office. We come here to watch you, to learn about you, to get advice, to learn your protocol, to learn everything that you stand for. I have, and I know other offices have said, please come to our office to learn about ours. Seen it. I think, my own personal opinion, I can't speak for the others. Spend a couple hours, see what we do. We come to your office to learn about how you do things. We get advice, we learn. It's a catch-22. But going on the 500, as I was talking with Bill, what is your definition of appreciation? I'm very grateful to get my people what they deserve, very much so. Where do the elected officials stand? I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything. I just feel like, I guess it's kind of like a slap. It's like, okay. Don't get me wrong, I'm not appreciative. I am, and I think the other ones are as well.
No, thank you. Just wanted them to hear what I had a chance to hear, and nothing more for information gathering and listening, as we've been asked to do. And
A lot of deliberation over where the WIS study put positions, those wages. And I'm very proud of that. And I think the commitment that this council's had the last few years in getting wages and consideration up to the extent our budget allows us to. I'm very proud of that work. And I'm very proud of everybody on council's time that they're putting into their liaison positions. And spent time with those offices. This is a very part-time position that's become a full-time job as well. And it has remained a 24-year commitment at the same wage when it was a part-time position. If 500 isn't enough and we don't have 1,000, do we just take it away? Longevity, remember, was baked into the pay when we did it 2 years ago. When we gave those raises 2 years ago, it came off of that into our new pay study. We baked all the longevity in, but we knew people would forget that.
And also an extra pay period, right?
Extra pay period as well.
It was baked in. It wasn't a one time. It became
Yeah,
baked.
so what we do is never enough and it's not appreciated, obviously. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not speaking for this council.
That's the only part. I mean, I have it with everyone. With my liaisons though, I give hours of my time outside of here and have tried to learn and tried to understand and have been in walls and spent time. Unfortunately, I still have a job to do. So I try to put in around 10 or so hours a week into, I don't take this lightly. I didn't take it lightly. We tried to stay to the study. I mean, the study showed us, and unfortunately, elected officials weren't the only ones. We also had the other employees that it affected that were at the top.
29.
Granted, I can't speak, I'm just speaking for, I mean, there's a whole encumbrance of many factors to consider, and it's very hard. It's a fine line. Do you do the right thing or do you do things right? A very fine line. And, there's a lot of things, I told Bill, there are a lot of things, sometimes you're on the fence, you don't know which way to go. And I understand that, and I think that we understand that as well.
Yeah, because I mean, I hope you watched, I know that you guys were in here, you watched us. We beat that horse till it was dead every time. So, I would.
We shot it, then we beat it again.
Yeah, we did. We did. I would
A couple
still,
times too.
I certainly don't mean that. We wanted, my personal opinion was I wanted to do something. And we were trying to stay under a wire with our budget. And so I really hope that you take it that we wanted to do something. I don't think we should remove it. It's still what we all thought we should do. So that's just my opinion. That's my opinion.
That's fine. We do not need to take any action. I just would wanted my colleagues to hear what I had the opportunity to have a conversation with.
I think.
Okay. Any motions to be made or everybody settled? Any other budget conversation?
Just reviewing my notes, Dan, I do not see anything else that we need to bring up on my behalf.
Thank you. Thank you for doing
Appreciate
an outstanding
everybody's
job in my absence.
Appreciate everybody's efforts. It was a little bit of a lengthy meeting, but
A
good.
little bit of a lengthy meeting. That's funny. That was the joke of it.
We've had a lot of those this year. Okay. Then I'll read the 2025 county budget to be approved. Numbers. So on your adopted budget line in general, at $18,064,694. And you've got all your special funds. For a total adopted budget of $42,505,174.
You need a motion? I will make the motion that we approve the 2025 budget.
Second.
Bill and Tony. Any further discussion?
It was an honor to be here with all of you guys. It was a rough year.
You're not going anywhere, so
I'm not going there.
it'll be an honor to continue.
It will be an honor to continue. Hoping that next year isn't quite as hard as this year.
It was hard because this was a big number to help our employees out. And it's technically a 2.5-year number. We'll wait to see, but it was a 2-year number. And with our growth quotient being 4% and we grew 10%, so we come up with the 2.5 years to be able to afford it. But we've got the revenue replacement and a lot of other hard decisions we had to make to get there. We'll have that again next year. Will be, in my mind, will be half a year shy, but we'll see, if we manage things well enough, hopefully.
The sheriff's chief deputy is still not.
Yeah.
The study says, so there's still.
Still some work to be done.
Progress.
Well, I just want to say it has been an honor, and I appreciate you all. We may not always see eye to eye, but I absolutely respect each and every one of you because, yeah, this is a huge commitment and it is pretty intense. And it's been a huge undertaking to try to get year in and year out the numbers, and growing by 12 employees has been, oh my God, because our tax dollars don't stretch that far. And as I've said over and over again, it's a zero sum. You've got X dollars. Unless you grow taxes, you've got X dollars. So I love you all and I appreciate you all very much.
Mr. Tony.
Yes.
We're not
Very
there
much.
yet. Don't do that. No. But, if it does happen in November 5th for me to get elected as state representative, this is my last meeting. So God bless you all. I appreciate it.
I didn't realize that. They just informed me that at the beginning of the meeting. That's off vote here though. Let's talk. But Ruth, any comments? Anybody else? Okay. I'm gonna call for the count. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 6.
Thank you.
That concludes our budget meeting. Motion to adjourn the budget meeting. So,
I will second.
okay. Anything else coming before this council today? Closed the first meeting already. Okay, thank you all.
Very good.
We'll close.
Thanks, Sheriff. Sorry I was late, everybody. All right.
Yeah.
It's I had it in my calendar. I did go through missing.
That's the groundbreaking.
Okay.